welcome to my review of Elastigirl, a.k.a. Helen from The Incredibles 2. I think I'm just gonna call her Helen instead of going back and forth. First, though, I guess I should go over my thoughts of the original Incredibles. I should just state up front, look, I was never a big fan of the original. I'm not big into superheroes. You just know that's where I'm coming from. Around the time the Incredibles and WALL-E and Up came out, it was about the time I started to cool away from Pixar a lot. I just realized that though they're, technically good films, they emotionally left me completely cold. I would just walk out and go, yep, that was great. God, was that ever good. I mean, I like fun, relatable characters, but Bob Parr whisper mumbles half his words.
I was gonna say evil or
something. What?
I don't mean to be. Never see you again.
What? And WALL-E was, I swear to God, Pixar trying to see if they could make a film with no characters in it at all. Don't you ever do that again. Moreover, I don't know if the original Incredibles can really age all that well. It's very dad-centric. Look at this. This is what Pixar thinks family unity looks like. Just take a good look at that. I know the concept of superhero family probably seemed cool for a few minutes, but just no. Maybe it would have made sense if Incredible was actually their last name and they all had the same powers. But it isn't, and they don't. This isn't an example of family unity, it's a cosplay contest at DadCon. Apparently, in the world of The Incredibles, unity means everyone just using Dad's professional identity, reputation, personal logo, and dumping all notions of self-expression and individuality into a ditch somewhere. This is the image that they designed the entire film and, turns out, franchise around. Like, think about it. No part of the uniforms could actually be different.
Look, I'm the dad.
Not even the logo. Like, just give them their own letter in the same style or something. They're not all incredible. Sick at the Pixar. Family unity is about being a cohesive family unit while supporting each other's individuality. And giving the girl an equally cool scene as the boy, you assholes. Seriously, I'm still pissed off about this. Dash gets a super cool, ultra iconic scene where he gets to run on water, and what does Violet do? She whimpers and hides in a puddle. Never mind if one of you actually already happens to have a superhero career and a personal professional identity. Pfft, not in Pixar's Perfect Family album, you don't. Everyone has to match. Ew.
You are Elastigirl! Show him you remember that he is Mr. Incredible, and you will remind him who you are.
In fact, you should get used to doing that from now on, because based on your suit, no one will know who you are. Which kind of defeats the purpose of the suit. I'm a shit designer.
You must be Mrs. Incredible.
Yeah, you'd think, but no. That Edna is so amazing a designer, and just reissued Bob's newly designed supersuit to the rest of the family, including Elastigirl, who's also her client, is beyond nonsensical. And lazy, frankly. But you could excuse the outdated gender roles as being accurate for this 1960s setting. You could, you shouldn't. But to me, what is inexcusable is just this.
Settle down, are you kidding? I'm at the top of my game. I'm right up there with the big dogs. Girls, come on. Leave the saving of the world to the men? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Pixar, you just looked straight in the eyes of every little girl sitting in that theater. And you promised them the world. I guess you didn't realize that you had done that. But you did. You promised a big, kick-ass, trumpet-screaming hour and a half of world-saving Elastigirl awesomeness. You promised them this. But you gave them this. We then, of course, spent the next 2 hours realizing that's a knife twisting slowly into our hearts, as we realize that Elastigirl is actually perfectly happy leaving saving the world to the men. There's vacuuming to be done. She only begrudgingly steps outside the house when it means dragging her errant husband back from self-destructively chasing his own ego into the sun. And I'm not asking for The Incredibles to be some sort of feminist masterpiece. I just want to know why. Why is this here? What is this for? Does it serve a story purpose? Is it just lip service? Is it a trick? What? I mean, she says she doesn't want to settle down.
Settle down, are you kidding? I'm at the top of my game.
And then does. And we're just supposed to be okay with that, not ask questions. I don't know, is it to show that they swapped mindsets?
I think I just like the simple life, you know, relax a little and raise a family.
Bob says he would like to settle down, but then he's miserable. Helen says she would not like to settle down, and then is fine with it. I mean, she doesn't get bored, she doesn't feel unappreciated or undervalued.
Leave the saving of the world to the men? I don't think so.
Is it foreshadowing? Because, I mean, she doesn't even actually get to save Bob. Mirage technically beats her to it by a few seconds. Couldn't even give her that. But she does get to walk in on what appears to be her husband cheating on her whilst wearing his uniform. And in case that wasn't humiliating enough, she's then dragged across the room kicking and complaining into a forced kiss. I'm so happy to see you, I could just assault you. It's not that easy, Scarlett. And I know. This is Bob's story. She's here as a foil and the voice of reason, but why put this here? This implies there's something about being a hero and saving the world that she actually might miss. That there's a proud, rebellious, competitive, stubborn feminist in there somewhere waiting to burst onto the scene. But we never see it. It's never important. It never comes back. It's not like she's balancing saving the world and being a mom. That might actually be an interesting story. Oh! Is that what this is? Yes! Oh, that sounds amazing! Maybe that's what we've got in The Incredibles 2. Because it seems like Pixar's mulled over at least some of these points over the last 14 years. Wow. Tell us how you really feel. But they also seem to have acknowledged that Bob is actually kind of boring. Wow. Super strength. Can't wait to see more of that. Personally, I can only see this new Elastigirl-centric sequel as a sort of apology for overlooking this character the first time around. Apology accepted, guys. Don't screw it up. Okay, so let's meet Helen. Actually, we've already met Helen. Let's catch up with Helen. Now, the movie starts right where the original left off. Superheroes are still illegal. Discuss.
Superheroes are illegal. Whether it's fair or not, that's the law.
The law should be fair. What are we teaching our kids?
To respect the law.
Even when the law is disrespectful?
If laws are unjust, there are laws to change them. Otherwise, it's chaos.
Which is exactly what we have.
Well, isn't this fun? Helen is still the pragmatic one. That's all we needed to know. We're gonna move on now. Okay. Families fighting. Whose idea was... Now, Helen and Bob come to the realization that one or both of them will need to find a job before they are basically homeless. They're called to meet with this really wealthy superhero fan who wants to legalize superheroes again using a sort of PR campaign.
Help me make all supers legal again!
Bob is, of course, thrilled to pieces. Helen is...
The perfect launch with Elastigirl.
What do you say?
What do I say? I don't know. Ah, geez, more superhero trouble. We just came from the police station, Lucius.
Meh. I believe meh is accurate. Winston wants Elastigirl to be the new face of his project, despite Bob's overwhelming eagerness.
Evelyn did a cost-benefit analysis, and Elastigirl's numbers are self-explanatory.
Apparently because Bob tends to be too destructive. Blah, 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 reasons. It's hard to care about a character getting something that they don't want. Like, why would we care?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Okay, but I think there is an I want in here somewhere.
Now you get the offer of a lifetime and you don't know?
I want to protect the kids.
Oh, how motherly, role model, safe, and focus grouped of you to say, but no, really, what does she want? She really never had any aspirations of getting back into superhero work. She didn't catch Bob's super obsession bug after fighting on the island. You want to see just how hard they had to work to justify this?
Look, it's not a good time to be away. Dash is having trouble with homework. Vi is worried about her first date with that boy she likes. Even a normal baby needs a lot of attention. I'm just not sure I can leave.
What's a choice? One, we're out of the motel and things get better for all supers, including our kids. Or two, I find a job in 2 weeks or we're homeless.
To help my family, I gotta leave it. To fix the law, I gotta break it. We have kids.
I'll watch the kids, no problem.
Well, if there is a problem, I'll drop this thing and come right back.
That was agonizing. If you want to get her super ass off the log, have a supervillain come after her family or something. Come on, if it's not personal enough, make it personal. I mean, come on, there are supervillains in this world. Right? Are there? Because if there were supervillains, they would have taken over and forced all the supers back to work anyway. Wait! Anyway, find a more interesting way to motivate her. Make it personal. Make us care about this because she cares about this. I mean, if you're going to have the plot drag her off kicking and screaming anyways, you could at least blow something up. She'll only go when every conceivable obstacle has been neatly cleared for her. This isn't just the plot coming to get her. This is the plot asking her to fill out paperwork first. Just a mountain of, don't worry, I'm still totally a good mom waivers. But I could be wrong. Maybe tiptoeing around raging mom bashers has nothing to do with it. I mean, after all, plot taxiing is Pixar's MO. It's just not usually this boring. But I guess if we have to shoehorn her into the plot, it could have been worse. Knowing Pixar, their first idea was probably to have her trip and stumble into her super suit off a cliff into a river and wake up in Spanish mode. And that's only if they couldn't find a truck, or a clone, or a baggie.
I'm just not sure I can leave.
You've got to, so our kids can have that choice.
So you can have that choice.
All right, yes. And I would do a great job, regardless of what Devers pie charts say or whatever. But they want you. And you'll do a great job, too.
That was excruciating to watch.
Yeah, it is excruciating. Kind of makes you think that you might be leaving behind a cesspool of bitterness and resentment that could destroy your marriage and tear your family apart. No? Nobody else? That's what I thought when I first saw that. I thought that's where they were going with it. But as sleep-inducing as this scene was, it gave us Helen's conflict as well. Simply, she will be dealing with transitioning from domestic life back to professional crime fighting, putting aside incessantly having to manage every detail of the kids' lives to focus on making superheroes look as attractive to the public as possible. And after 15 years? Yeah, that could be tough.
You'll be great.
I know I will.
Wait, what?
You'll be great.
I know I will.
You know you'll be great? She has no doubts about her ability to do this? Why not? She's not worried about screwing up, dying and never coming home to her family, hurting anyone, losing anyone, being out of shape, anything? There's like a million reasons she should be, and she doubts everything else. Oh God, the baby, and the boyfriend, and the homework. Oh God, it could all just go so terribly wrong. What's that, my job? My life-threatening job? I could die and leave my children motherless? Psh, I'm not worried. But, I don't know, maybe she's overconfident. Maybe she's underestimating how tricky a transition this is. I don't know, I guess we'll find out.
Dever here.
This is Elastigirl. I'm in.
So she accepts the job, the family gets a fancy new house, and everything seems to be going okay. Maybe, although Violet and Helen are very suspicious.
This is homey. Good thing we won't stand out.
Isn't this a bit much?
Wouldn't want to attract any unnecessary attention.
I don't know if this is relevant and we should be thinking, oh, there might be something nefarious, or if they're just in character.
Did you wash your hands? Where are you going?
I'm sitting this one out.
With soap? What exactly is Mom's new job? Not going anywhere because it'll make it great. Did you dry them?
The two of them just kind of seem like they never get to relax and are just overstressed, miserable 24/7. It's kind of depressing, but whatever. And Elastigirl also gets a new look.
What is this? I'm not all dark and angsty. I'm Elastigirl.
Yeah, Elastigirl, which is why I've been dressing like Mr. Incredible. You know, because I'm Elastigirl.
I'm not all dark.
I'm not all dark and angsty. I wear black and red. You know, hero colors. I'm sorry, I've never been a fan of those suits, like Jafar called. He actually said you can keep the PJs. They're tacky as shit. Alright, so finally, Helen is all suited up and ready to leave for her new job.
A new Elasticycle.
Elasticycle? I didn't know you had a bike.
Hey, I had a mohawk. There's a lot about me you don't know.
Nice marriage.
You will be great.
I will be great, and you will too.
We will both be great.
Yeah, you don't know your own wife, and there she goes. See, more and more, this film just seems to be begging the question, can their marriage survive this role reversal? Because based on the evidence, Helen makes all the sacrifices, Bob is prepared for nothing, and they know nothing about each other? I don't see how this can possibly work. Anyway, so, Elastigirl's first day on the job, and... Wait, is she actually happy? Oh my god, I honestly missed that the first few times watching this. Maybe it's because her cries of elation are actually kind of muffled and are drowned out by the bike. I didn't notice them. But great, she actually seems to be enjoying this.
Well, it's like a superhero's playground.
So, they swap roles. Helen starts her new job, Bob becomes the housewife, or I guess the house husband, and immediately Bob seems to struggle with the transition, helping Dash with his homework, managing baby Jack, and helping Violet sort out boy troubles. And Elastigirl on her first day...
Seems strange to wait for crime.
Like, what am I, the police? Also, you should really be used to it. It's no different than waiting for the plot. I'm sorry, this is a nitpick, but what? Do firefighters sit around waiting for fires? Unless you are typically the one causing the crime, that is just a baffling thing to say. That's a baffling thing for a professional crime fighter to say. Waiting and responding to things is for civilians. I am a superhero. I expect crime to fall neatly into my lap.
You know, my husband used to listen to a police scanner, waiting for something to happen, and I got mad at him for it. Oh, I'm such a hypocrite. Oh, I'm such a hypocrite.
A hypocrite? Really? No, you're not a hypocrite. Your husband was risking getting caught and having the whole family uprooted, and that was before he nearly got you all killed. You had to be dragged here kicking and screaming, threatened with the prospect of homelessness, and paid. Plus...
Are you sure the police are going to be okay with this?
I know the chief of police. There won't be a problem.
Oh, and it's completely fine. He checked it with the... What do you mean you checked it with the police? I thought she was breaking the law. Is that not why she's so uncomfortable with all of this?
What are we teaching our kids?
To respect the law!
So, Mom is going out illegally to explain why she shouldn't be illegal.
To fix the law, I got a break.
I know the chief of police. There won't be a problem.
No, Elastigirl is a good role model. She would never break the law illegally. And you!
Are you sure the police are going to be okay with this?
Sure, you're making life easy for them.
They still haven't forgiven us for the last time we made life easy for them.
Oh my god, you're exhausting. I have no idea what we're meant to be taking away from every negative, contrarian thing that comes out of her mouth, but it's exhausting. Mr. Incredible would at least be having fun. This is not enjoyable, listening to this. I really shouldn't be out here. I really shouldn't be doing this. I know it's not the right thing to do. Oh, my husband, that one time I told him, like 3 years ago, I told him this one thing, and that technically makes me a hypocrite. I'm such a horrible person.
Wait, the train has stopped. It's going the wrong direction.
So, she jumps into action to stop a hijacked train.
What about a fail-safe?
Not enough time.
Everything seems to be going fine. She's back in the groove. She's back in her element.
Someone's calling! Switching over!
Hey, Mom, I can't find my high top.
Oh, so suddenly, right in the middle of the chase, she has to manage her work-life balance on the fly. How's she gonna do it? How's she gonna watch the train? How's she gonna not deject her kids and actually balance this?
Dash, honey, can't talk right now, but look under your bed, okay? How much time?
But she does, and everything is completely fine, and nothing happens. I'm sorry, what? No, wait, come back.
Can't talk right now, but look under your bed, okay? How much time?
What was the point of that? Best I can tell, the thing we learned here is that Helen's bike has a phone, and it works. What a relief.
Hey.
What happened?
Guys, that thing that just bounced off your toe and under the couch, that was your conflict. She can't just step back into superhero work, take a distraction from her family life like it's nothing, and then just power on. No. Okay, what's the story then? Is that not where we were going with this? So basically, she'll be able to just balance, performing at top life-saving form, and mothering at the drop of a hat. So the point of this is that she is literally super mom.
I can't find my high tops and Dad can't find them either. But he won't call you and ask, so Wyatt.
Do not call your mother!
Oh. It's a gag! Dear sweet lord, that was a gag! Okay guys, stop me if you've heard this one. On her first day back doing superhero work, Helen is distracted by home life. Her trying to balance work and parenting is not a central theme to build our story around. It's a joke. Also, I don't know if you want to be reminding us of Bob.
Wyatt.
Do not call your mother!
In the middle of Elastigirl's action sequences because they are blatantly superior in every way. I mean, just look at this shit. Like, why would we ever want Bob back? Oh, right. Because powers don't count for shit. And because he actually cares. Bob's motivations and desires are so ingrained into our skulls. He's effortless to empathize with. And not only do we know what he wants, but look how passionate he is. Look how much he loves his job. He could very well be one of the most self-centered animated characters of all time. But we forgive him because of just how passionate he is. Yeah, his powers are boring as hell, but he's simply fun to watch. There's joy and passion put behind this character, superpowers or not. And Helen? That was a nice action sequence. But that's it. There are simply no emotional stakes. We're just watching her on the job, and she doesn't struggle with it at all. I think she skids every now and then. Oh, I think maybe she had like a slight wobble. She's just so rusty. She struggles with this so little, right in the moment where she should have struggled. Prime moment to introduce characters' central conflict. Instead, they just bail and insert a reminder of just how hard this is for Bob.
He won't call you and ask, so Wyatt.
Do not call your mother!
Well, no one think of Bob. I mean, yeah, women could kick ass equally as much ass even. But behind every super cool, strong, independent, badass woman is a man who suffers. This all just feels like she's acting out of black and white obligation. There's a train. People might die. Go get it? And yeah, this is all completely in character for her.
Well, I think you need to be more flexible.
Settle down, are you kidding? I'm at the top of my game. I'm right up there with the big dogs.
Or it is now, I guess. Like, if the old Elastigirl were going to make an appearance, even for a second, it would have been here.
I didn't know you had a bike.
Hey, I had a mohawk.
Nice try, guys. Stop trying to act like the person she was is in any way relevant to the story. But she's got to be curious as to how things are going at home, right? I mean, did Dash find his shoes? Is she thinking that call was indicative of all hell breaking loose in her absence? I mean, how is Bob doing? Is he managing okay?
Why would they change math? Math is math.
Okay,
Math. No!
Dad, leave me alone.
No!
Oh, that's a hard no. Okay, so how does Helen react to this?
Jack.
You had an accident. I knew it. I'm coming home right now. I never should.
No accident. You don't think I can do this?
Sorry, I misspoke. Do you need me to come back?
No, I've got this. Everything's great.
What happened with Jack?
Nothing.
I see. So, that's it then. This conflict is not happening. If it hasn't happened by now, it's not going to happen. Okay. I understand.
You don't think I can do this?
Sorry. So, things haven't spiraled out of control the moment I left?
It has been quite uneventful, in fact.
It's just so frustrating. She's inches away from being effectively torn between two things she loves. And then
You should be back in your tower.
quickly slam her conflict door shut and pivot to focus on Bob.
So, things haven't spiraled out of control the moment I left?
Amazing as it may seem, it has been quite uneventful, in fact.
He's such a child. What am I watching? I can't believe I defended you. You know what? I take it back. You're a dick. It's one thing to lie to get out of trouble, but he's gonna tell her off for thinking he can't do something he actually can't do.
You don't think I can do this?
No, 'cause you can't. We've established this. She's got him pegged 100% dead to rights. So his first instinct is to turn it on her, crank up the gaslight, and guilt trip her for prejudging him. I would never! You racist, man-hating whore! What are you, 8? And a sociopath?
Wait, what? You don't think I can do this?
Sorry, I misspoke.
I misspoke? Who talks like that? Except their boss? I mean, would Bob ever apologize and course correct that fast for her? Hell no! She barely grazes his ego and is reduced to a simpering bucket of apologies, and we haven't even talked about her day yet. You know, her gallant first day on the job where she saved hundreds of lives. I mean, God knows what he'll think about... Oh no.
And quite uneventful, in fact.
How about you?
I saved a runaway train!
It was so great!
Yeah.
Superhero Elastigirl.
Elastigirl.
Boom! No casualties!
Specialized motorbike saving the officials.
You are such a dick.
Yeah, honey, it was a saga!
That's fantastic, honey. And on your first night, I am so proud of you.
It's funny because he's a jerk. Or it's funny because of some universal factor that scares me deep down. Like, it's funny because no man would ever actually be happy that his wife is succeeding while he's at home. It's so relatable, and I want to die.
I'm proud of you, honey.
I know you want to get out there, and you will soon. And you'll be amazing. I couldn't have done this if you hadn't taken over so well.
Thanks for handling everything.
Yes, nothing.
Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams, honey.
So, and oh yeah, she hangs up and we stay with Bob. We are left to watch him walk to the gallows, serenaded by the noir-esque saxophone of misery. Jesus Christ, movie. Did somebody die? My wife is happy. She's out there working towards a future that could benefit me personally? Why me? Really? Like, really? This is just pathetic. I would give the movie credit for playing up Bob's flaws, but the movie isn't so much aware of his flaws as much as it seems to be existentially indulging in every overwrought second of them. Every grimace and wince of anguish, every soul-crushing sigh. Someone get this man a cookie. I mean, is this really how the movie feels about giving Helen the spotlight? Because that is a creamy feeling of terrifying between two pieces of depressing. Bob's death scene over here is clearly way more important to the story than whatever Helen did today. And what Helen did today was save hundreds of lives. So, really, was any of this for Helen?
As if she could not know how to... I can do math. Oh, I'll tell you. It's not my fault they changed math.
Was any of this anything but just a setup for Bob's development? Because Helen sure as hell didn't take anything away from it. So not only is she being lied to, kept ignorant of significant milestones happening to her own family, and subsequently being blocked from any meaningful conflict. And not only is her own plot completely devoid of any personal element that might actually make it engaging, and not only does she lack any actionable character flaws the story could play off of. No, besides all of that, even the cool shit she does isn't for her. I mean, look how happy she is. And it's all just there to be leached over to Bob's side of the plot. His suffering and jealousy is the entire encompassing context of her joy and sense of accomplishment. Oh, she's just so othered, so isolated from the heart of the story, which doesn't even make any sense. I'm sorry, it shouldn't be this easy to keep Helen in the dark. I mean, I know Bob wants to keep his failures from her. I get that. I buy that. But why does he get to?
What happened with Jack?
Nothing. He's in excellent health.
Well, that's good.
Why would she believe that? Has she not met her husband?
Do it so I can do it better.
You know, Bob, hyper-competitive, pretty much a narcissistic asshole. He lies to protect his ego. That's his whole thing. Could have been the title of the first film. Plus, we've already established that kids could just call her. Her own daughter is dealing with boy problems, has every justification for wanting to talk to her mother. And what, these kids don't watch TV? Anyways, Bob uses his immense resentment and feelings of failure to motivate positive action.
Come on. I think I understand your math assignment.
He bounces back from his flaws and initiates change and personal growth, which is what flaws are supposed to do. So you know what? Good for Bob for actually being a good role model for once. He did really need this.